Jebuth. Trust. Do you trust humanity? Do you trust society? Do you trust your government? Do you trust? Who do you trust? How do you trust? What makes them trust you? All these things seem to be on the board, so to say, as an option with 2022 moving forward. We have doctors saying one thing, we have politicians saying another, we have people being a certain way to you in front of you, but not when you're away from them. It's just a lot of different stuff to consider. We should be the best we can at all times, work with and try to acquire knowledge to become the best in that situation so that you can move forward and have opinions and progressions to replicate what those are doing. Such as, if you don't know something, look into it, right? People as well. If you don't know that person, look into them. Find out what makes them tick. And you can tell a lot by, honor, integrity, excellence, what they do, how they do it, who they hang around. You only are who you're hanging around with. Lions hang with lions. You don't see lions kicking it with jackals because they get eaten. Don't get ate. 7 said to 8 and 9. Haha. We want to be good at what we do. We want to be the best humans we can while on planet. You have not done what you can do, speaking to me, to be the best that we can be while doing what we do. So, how do we improve that? Talking about it. It's all about action, homie. Straight doing. Just do it. Work within your confines to do the best while you can within those confines. Remember the fuel that kind of correlates everything: water, oxygen, food. Get your vitamins, stay away from junk, don't poison your body for recreation, and keep it moving. Saw the documentary The Allens about Gigi Allen. It's pretty good. It's from like 2017. Basically, they kind of get his mom, which is super wild. If you know Gigi Allen, he's insane. He'd poop on stage and run around naked. And he's dead, but his brother's continuing with his legacy. And his mom's in there. And it's kind of weird when you see somebody that was so gnarly. And that they have a mom. They are human. Whoa, look at that. Like, we always forget. Especially when you're super punk rock. And then she's super semi-normal. So, there's that. Sometimes you don't get that perspective and you tend to forget. And then when you see it, you're like, oh, wow. Also, I've been viewing all week The Years of Lead. Italian crime cinema. This is a box set I picked up from Arrow Films. And it's got 5 movies and a book, right? I'm going to go through these basically. Savage 3 was actually the first one I watched, and I just picked it right here. It's pretty gnarly, dude. Once you start thinking about like what was going on in Italy in the 70s and how the art dictated that, there was a lot of like political resistance and right wing versus left wing, and pretty interesting. These are super like heist thriller type things. This dude right here, D'Alessandro, he's been in some American stuff, but dude, he totally reminds me of like an American Psycho type guy, or even like a Clockwork Orange type of vibe. These are from like 73 through 75, I think, or 73 through 77, 76. But super interesting. I had never seen any of them, didn't know about that whole movement, and it's kind of nice to watch them in a glimpse or in a view to a handful of them. This Colt 38 Special Squad, another one from that time frame, obviously. It is pretty good. It's basically these cops can't do what they got to do, so they give them a special Colt 35 or a Colt 38 and send them out on the town to fight bad guys. And basically, like, they're like a secret squad on motorcycles and fighting bad guys and stick up artists and stuff. So it's kind of cool. Oh, cruising through Rome and stuff I've never really seen. I say that, and these movies have 2 movies in them. So this also has Like Rabid Dogs. Like Rabbit Dogs is pretty gnarly. There's another famous Italian movie from Mario Bava called Rabbit Dogs, but this is like Rabbit Dogs. And it's basically these rich kids who just murder and rape for fun. So again, right back to that Clockwork type thing, but super wild, beautiful 70s film, real film, celluloid, by, real artists, super cool. And then the Colt 38 special also came with Highway Racer, which these cops, basically it's kind of based on a true story, but the cops get a supercar to fight criminals because they can't keep up, and then they give them this souped up car, which doesn't really look souped up, but they tell you it's souped up, so you gotta believe them, or at least I didn't think it looked souped up. And then he kind of infiltrates the bad guys and gets in their gang with this cool car, but fun. And then the last one that I watched really kind of stole me over. I mean, I wasn't totally sure if I totally enjoyed this genre, but this is the case is happily resolved. And this one was really cool. Basically, it starts off with like this dude who's fishing, and there's a professor, and he's fucking brutally murdering this, turns out to be a prostitute, right? And the dude sees him like do it, right? He's like in the reeds, quote unquote, the reeds by the lake where he was fishing, and they make eye contact, and then he tries to bail to go tell the cops, but he can't. He gets cut off. The police station's too far. He just kind of doesn't go. But I guess the professor that did it goes to the police and puts in a report that he says he saw that dude do it. And so I haven't heard anything like that before. That really flips the script. And I thought that's what kind of stole me. And then, goes through it all. And it's kind of interesting that they had to do an alternate ending because they didn't think the people would like how it ended up. But y'all gotta watch it to figure it out. I ain't gonna tell you. But good stuff. And then something really close to me. I don't know if that even makes sense. But this is Waco. The shocking truth revealed. The rules of engagement from Waco, Texas. It's a documentary. And it's pretty good, dude. I remember Waco just because I was a kid. And the information presented in that, and then that's from like 1997. So I didn't know anything. I mean, you figure that it's 25 years later. I'm finally watching that. But the reason I said it's close to me is in junior high, I had a really cool teacher. She was a keyboardist teacher. Her name was Mrs. Jewell. Mrs. Jewell was pretty awesome. She was young and kind of hip. And when you didn't listen in her class, she made you do push-ups. So I ended up doing a ton of push-ups in her class. Like, whatever. I didn't care. I kind of liked it to get the extra exercise. And we went through it, and so be it. But one day, I go into her class, and the principal's in there. And he's taking notes. So apparently, somebody's mom had complained that she was doing, like, physical harm and child torture by making kids do push-ups when they got in trouble. So anyway, she got fired. Mrs. Jewell got fired. She freaking ran away and joined a cult. She was in Waco, and she died. So I know it's just weird because I just remember she was pretty awesome. The push-ups got her over the edge. She went and joined these guys in Waco, Texas, and it ended up burning over. Now, I was always under the impression that David Koresh kind of burned it down. But the way that it's presented is like they tear gassed him with some stuff that was highly flammable. They didn't have any electricity. They were running stuff off of candles and lanterns. The gas that they put in there was flammable. It started burning. They wanted to run out. As they're running out, they're getting unloaded with shotguns. Or they're actually getting unloaded on with machine guns. So they couldn't exit, and they all burned to death. That being said, what the fuck? I don't know. It's just weird the way they present it. And I watched all the little special features. They got all the heat maps and stuff. Like, it's pretty interesting. But obviously that's way a long time ago and kind of over. But it's just weird that I thought it was one way and it was totally not even that way. That being said, try your hardest. Do your best. Stay amazing. Read more books. Be humble. Be gracious. Podcast Jebuth.